Hold on, so let me get this straight. The white farmers in Louisiana, they're mad because people of color won't come work on their farms for $11 an hour in 100-degree heat for 10 plus hours a day. Let me run that back. White farmers are mad. The very farmers that voted Republican, okay, they voted for this, are mad that people of color won't come work on their farms for $11 an hour in 100-degree heat for 10 plus hours a day. I'm saying you get what you ask for. Hey, it's FAFO type shit, okay? But hey, don't be fooled. I feel like it's gonna come to a point where they're finna make people get on their farms. Don't count me to it. Because if 2025 was a checklist, hey.
So I'm a black farmer, and a lot of people are wondering, why are black farmers not panicking like a lot of white farmers? Well, let me explain to you the reasons why. It's because white farmers have been handed everything to them, a lot of them. Not saying all of them, but a good bit of them. And by that I mean this. MLK even pointed out, he says, farmers in the West and the Midwest who were white, they were given land, they were given money, they were given training, they were given a lot. Whereas the black farmers weren't given anything, and the largest civil rights settlement in U.S. history is Pickford v. Glickman, where you had a class action lawsuit, bunch of black farmers all joined the lawsuit, and they won a huge settlement because the USDA was shown to be racist for decades. So because black farmers haven't been given anything, we've been learning to do without, unlike your white farmers. So when things are taken away from you, all your subsidies, all your tax breaks, guess what? You panic. Whereas we've always been going through this shit. So there's a problem.
So yesterday I made a video talking about the white farmers and how they were crashing out all over social media because they voted for Shitty Bridges and thought he was going to give them back slaves. And also because of that, they lost 100% of their workforce due to the ICE raids. I want to come here today and I want to give some love to black farmers who I don't think get enough, right? I can appreciate that they are not on the internet spazzing out and crashing out. You want to know why? It's because whatever is going on in the current climate when it comes to farming, they're not new to this because they have faced adversity, not being given what they need in order to be successful, unlike their white counterparts, right? Because they have been spoon-fed everything they've needed in order for them to be successful. And now that that privilege and entitlement is gone because of who they voted for, they're on the internet trying to garner some favor and some sympathy. Meanwhile, black farmers, chilling. They cool as cucumbers because guess why? They know how to handle themselves and their farms during times of crisis. I guess favor ain't fair after all, huh?
So y'all remember when it was said that we taking all the black jobs? They really thought that we was going to be looking for black jobs, y'all. And I woke up this morning, I was scrolling through TikTok, and I saw this guy made a video, and I saved it to my favorites so you can go look for it. And he said he was pretending to be MAGA on one of those other apps. He said they were doing a live, and the farmers were saying that they thought that the black people would be looking for jobs to work on their farms. Now, you got to be kidding me. Do they think we really looking for farm work? Do they not know that we are educated and we got degrees? And being a farm worker ain't even in the jobs categories that we be looking for. They really don't know how educated some of us are. They don't know how many degrees a lot of us have. They got to be really lost if they think that we want to come and work on their farms. They don't know that our parents and our grandparents growing up wouldn't even let us be outside if it wasn't no shade outside. Do they really think that we gonna work on a farm where ain't no shade trees at? I hate to disappoint y'all, baby, but you're gonna have to get somebody else to do it, because we ain't working on nobody's farm. Never. The only way you're gonna see black people working on a farm is if they own the farm, because we not working on nobody's farm as no workers. So I hate to disappoint y'all. If y'all thought those was black jobs that black people looking for, honey, you better think again. Because black folks that I know got good jobs. We've had a black president. We had a black vice president. We got black senators. We got black congressmen. We got black CEOs. We got black doctors. We got black nurses. We got black psychiatrists. We got a lot of good black jobs. Now, I don't know what y'all thought we was going to be farm workers for. We don't even want to work in the fast food industry. Those jobs, we don't want those kind of jobs. So, I hate to disappoint you MAGA people, but we don't do farm work. So get somebody else to do it. I would like, share, comment, and repost. Drop in the comments y'all education and y'all good black jobs, because they don't think we got good black jobs out here. So we need to let them see it.
Good morning from California. Our news is reporting that the citrus harvest has come to a halt here in the Central Valley. And the reason why is because migrants do not want to come to work for fear of being deported. And obviously, we all know that there aren't Americans doing these jobs. So, yeah, the harvest of citrus here in California is at a halt. So not only are things gonna rot if they don't get picked and shipped in time, also the price of citrus will go up. And you saw it in the comments of my other video. Everybody wants the illegal migrants to leave. So this will affect so many things. You just do not understand what's about to happen. It's just too crazy out there.
Farmers for Trump. Farmers for Trump. Y'all might want to get in here. I know you're going to want to get in here for this one. And have a seat while you're at it, because when I finish telling you what I just learned, your knees going to buckle. Okay. One of the first things the Trump administration did when they got into office was they went against all those deals that the government, that Biden administration made with y'all, with the farmers, right? They reneged on contracts. They didn't bring in that last payment they were supposed to bring in. A lot of y'all are losing y'all farms because of that, right? Because they reneged. There's this company called Acre Trader. I've mentioned this company before. This company, one of the first investors was a guy named J.D. Vance. Yes, the vice president y'all voted into office. J.D. Vance was one of the first investors. Guess who were investing along with J.D. Vance? South Africans. You get where I'm going? South Africans were investors. Many of them. So now fast forward to today. You guys are losing your land, right? Trump just brought and is still bringing over thousands of South Africans. You get where I'm going? He's bringing in thousands of South Africans. Where you think those South Africans gonna end up? Where you think they're going? Acre Trader has confiscated, or you can say purchased, whatever. I think they say it's about over 40,000 acres. The farmers that have already lost your land, I want y'all to do yourself a favor. Drive by. Give it a little minute, but drive by and see who the new owners of your farms are. Gotcha. They got y'all. They got y'all damn good. Do you see this was a plan? Do you see it was a plan? Now y'all see it. They played y'all the entire time. They've been playing y'all they've been playing y'all before November 4th. They knew what they were going to do when they got in there. All they needed y'all to do was fall for that old okie dokie again. You know that okie dokie that y'all never learned from. Where the wealthy white people use your hatred against black people and tell you that you are better than the most intelligent, most educated black man, while they constantly picking y'all pockets. Well, now they done picked your land up under you. Y'all keep thinking that these rich white people are on y'all side. What you don't understand is the rich white people see y'all the same as they see us. You ain't got money. You're no use to them. You're pawns. They like to move y'all around the board. But on their level, never. In their circle, never. How many of y'all been out to Mar-a-Lago? Farmers. MAGA. How many times y'all been down to Mar-a-Lago? How many times has he actually invited you in his home, in his surroundings? I know how many times he done offered to a price tag for y'all to come see him. But how many times has he ever opened his doors to where he is? You guys would never be in that circle. J.D. Vance was in this company, a part of investing in this company before he even became vice president. Think about that. Now we got all these South Africans coming over here. And if they just so happens to wind up on your land that you lost because they reneged on those contracts, y'all got played. Y'all got faked completely out of your acres. They played y'all to the freaking hilt because you refuse to learn this age-old lesson. The rich white man ain't your friend. You are his tool that he uses. That's it. And y'all never learn. Because they know one thing they can pull on y'all. They know that one thing they can dig at that's gonna be always. It's gonna always be paid. It's gonna be pay dirt. Always. And that's that hatred for black people. They know all they gotta do is hammer on that, and they can pick y'all pockets clean. Well, now they done pick y'all out of thousands and thousands and thousands of acres of land. Because you refuse to learn. Hatred never wins. You are so filled with hatred. You're so consumed by it. Nothing means more to you. That is costing you everything you have. And some of y'all, some generational farms are lost, gone. Because y'all just have to have that hatred more than y'all need air. It's sad. But it's funny too. Because, they say a fool and his money will soon part. Well, it looks like that's so damn true. Y'all refuse to learn. And they keep getting y'all. All these South Africans coming over here. They're going to cut all you MAGA Trump voters here that's been on SNAP benefits, that's had Medicaid, that depends on your Social Security checks, the veteran benefits. All of that is being taken away from you and gift wrapped to these South Africans that's coming. Yeah, they're getting the full benefits of everything. They're going to get housing assistance. They're going to get Social Security. They're going to get free phones. They're going to get SNAP. Everything they cutting from you, they giving to them. They prefer them over y'all. Y'all were just useful tools. That was it. Donald Trump even told y'all at them rallies, I don't care about y'all, I just want your vote. But y'all looked at him as a comedian instead of a politician. What you should have been doing was using him as your source of entertainment. Y'all should have been going to his shows. But putting your livelihood in his hands, that was the biggest mistake y'all ever made. And the second biggest mistake is not learning from the first one. So, for those of y'all who've lost y'all land, all them Nebraska farmers and all those Iowa farmers and all y'all who went, bum rushed that damn poll and voted for Trump and J.D. Vance, they got y'all. They got y'all. Oh, they played y'all real pretty. When I say they used y'all weakness against you, and who better to know your weakness than your own? So think about it like that. While y'all busy hating us, while y'all busy detesting us, while y'all busy dreaming about unaliving us and watch us bleed and watch us hang, while y'all doing that, you really should be looking at them with that type of hatred, because we can't take from you what they taking from y'all. Even y'all hatred directed at the wrong group. You love your enemy. You are in love with the rich white man. And the rich white man is your enemy. You'll never be on their level. Never. Not in their eyesight. And as you can see, they know they can play y'all like a fiddle. J.D. Vance is paid. The South Africans have a way paved for them to come into acres and acres of land that used to be held by Americans. So what are y'all gonna do when they start deporting y'all off? So you never thought it was gonna come to your doorstep, did you? Oh, it's on its way. It's on its way. You didn't vote just for our demise. You didn't know it, but you were voting for your own. And it's here. Go in and look at it. Go research it. Look into it. See when J.D. Vance, how much of a part of Acres Trader J.D. Vance is. And then look and see how many South African investors there are. And then I want you to come back and tell me with one big old smile on your face, is it great again yet? I don't know.
Someone asked me the other day, why is it that more of America's farmers have not yet turned on Trump? After all, he's cut farm-to-table programs, he's cut farm-to-school lunch programs, he's cut all kinds of funding for, structural improvements, drainage, climate resilience programs. He's cut all kinds of grant funding for farmers all across this country. He's cut USAID that has cost America's farmers billions. Ask farmers in Nebraska how they're doing right now. We are seeing silos full of corn and wheat and sorghum that go unsold. The United States government had promised to buy these crops, and then they pulled the contracts because Elon Musk gutted USAID. And all of this food, not just grains, but also milk that is turned into powdered milk, that was meant to go and secure our interests abroad and feed hungry people, is now sitting unsold in the United States of America, and that is hurting our farmers. Why are more of them not pissed off? And somebody else said, well, why are more farmers not freaking out that all of their migrant labor is being snatched by ICE? We are seeing ICE running into farm fields, snatching migrants who are toiling, picking our food, the food to feed the American people. They are coming in and tackling and snatching these folks, abducting them, and stuffing them into detention facilities where billions of our taxpayer money is going to keep these people imprisoned. And someone in my comments who was from the Midwest said, oh, don't you understand, in a lot of these states, especially a lot of the grain farmers and dairy farmers, they don't actually use that much immigrant labor. If they have very mechanized, agricultural setups on their farms, then they're not really interfacing that much with migrant labor. And yes, I totally understand for those folks who are growing large amounts of soybeans and grains, that makes sense. If you don't have to interact with brown people on a regular basis, you can dehumanize them more easily. You can justify what Trump is doing more easily. But there are farmers all around the country that rely heavily, heavily on migrant labor, especially where I am on the West Coast. And they are about to feel the hurt real bad. It's starting to be that time of year where more and more crops need to be picked. And while it was an issue earlier in the year, like in Florida and Southern California, we saw a little bit of farm laborers who didn't want to show up to pick strawberries and broccoli and citrus because they were worried about ICE. Well, now we are seeing the Republicans in Congress. Republicans are now the fascist party of this country, right? They are fully consolidated as a fascist party. They have now agreed to take billions of our tax dollars and expand ICE tenfold. The Republicans in Congress have now given Donald Trump $150 billion of our hard-earned tax money. to create his own massive secret police force, his own Gestapo that will be terrorizing communities all over the country. There's $150 billion for raids, but $0 for Medicaid. Do not forget that Republicans did that. Republicans did that to all of us. And so now we are seeing a tenfold increase in the completely rational fear of our hardworking migrant farm workers who feed this nation. And guess what? Farmers all around the country, right at a time when cherries and soon plums and peaches and all kinds of other crops around the country are coming ripe, crops that by and large need to be picked and sorted by hand. There's a massive farm labor shortage because workers are terrified that they are going to be snatched off the job, that while they are working, someone will snatch them out of the field and they will never see their families again. I'd like to point you to a piece from Spokane Public Radio from last week. It's called "Fear of ICE Causes Labor Shortage for Washington Cherry Growers." We've had 200 years of migrant farm workers in this country traveling from Mexico up the West Coast, following the picking season to harvest our food. Now, we've also had 200 years of abusing those farm workers, exploiting them, refusing to pay them a living wage or giving them safe work conditions. Yes, one of the things I've said previously is that I hope at the end of all of this, one of the things that comes out of this is that we understand the people who pick our food, they deserve dignity, they deserve a living wage, they deserve safe working conditions. They also deserve justice, and the people who are doing this to them deserve accountability. What we're seeing is a lot of the stone fruit pickers up here in Oregon and Washington, they come up from California and they are afraid to make that drive. They're afraid that there will be checkpoints where they will get abducted. They're afraid once they get here that they will be abducted by ICE. And so they're hiding. I can only imagine what kind of food insecurity that creates for their families. So the Spokane Public Radio piece talks about how the cherry picking labor shortage in Washington State is reaching a crisis point. They interview a woman named Rosa Hernandez, who is picking cherries at an orchard in Wenatchee. She was one of the few who was willing to make the drive from California to Washington to pick this year. She did so because she's an American citizen. But she said even though she is a U.S. citizen, she was terrified to make the drive because she's a brown person. We are seeing ICE doesn't give a shit about your citizenship. If you look like you could potentially be an immigrant or have immigrant ancestry, if you happen to have any kind of an accent, if you speak Spanish, they don't care, they will snatch you. And there's no oversight for you. There's no protection for you right now. She talks about how she did the long drive up to Washington State and she was afraid to pull over at rest stops to go pee because they have heard that ICE agents are waiting at rest stops. They're waiting at gas stations to snatch people. One of the farmers that they interviewed said that he's really terrified they can't get people to pick their cherries and that impacts the financing of their farm. So when you couple the fact that fruit is rotting on the tree with the cuts in grant programs and the volatile economic circumstances in the United States, he's worried that what we're going to see is by next year, more and more farms will be going under. Even Fox News for Seattle, even Fox News is covering this story, saying the growers are not just worried about cherries, they are worried that these labor shortages will extend to apples, grapes, and many other fruits that are grown in Washington State, also grown here in Oregon. Fox News called immigrant farm workers essential to our agricultural system. They said growers across central Washington say fears of immigration enforcement and potential ICE raids are keeping workers away from the field and are currently threatening to leave millions and millions of dollars worth of cherries unpicked, rotting on the trees. The Fox News story went on to interview migrants who said they are scared to show up and that the fear will compound. It will get worse and worse as ICE escalates. And then interestingly enough, there's a whole section in this article for Fox News readers that is called Why You Should Care. Not surprisingly, maybe. It doesn't say you should care because what is being done to our immigrant farm workers is inhumane, it's cruel, it's illegal, it's terrible, it's an ethnic cleansing in the United States. No. Why you should care, Fox News reader, is because Washington State is the nation's top producer of sweet cherries. And if the fruit is not being picked, that means that there is going to be a shortage and prices are going to go up. Even a delay, even if there's just a delay in picking, fruit is rotting on the tree. Fruit is an ephemeral crop, y'all. Fruit can't just sit there hanging out. You have to pick it when it's ripe. And so any delay, any shortage of labor for any period of time is immediately lost revenue. Now, this piece came out right before the big bloated budget bill got passed by Republicans in Congress. And, the Fox News take is hopefully lawmakers will consider the long-term economic impact of the agricultural labor force and even revisit immigration reform. I don't know how to make Republicans care about immigrants. I don't know how to make them have compassion and a conscience. I don't know how to make them be moved by the suffering that is being inflicted by our government right now. I don't know how to make them care about anything but their own pocket, their own personal suffering, their own negative experiences. And you could say at some point there's going to be such a severe shortage of labor on our farms that people are going to go hungry. It's going to impact the economy. And then folks will start to care. They will want things like immigration reform. I hope so, but also I am quite worried that this massive expansion of ICE abductions to 3,000 people a day, 3,000 non-criminals a day that are being stuffed into these concentration camps, that those will become forced labor camps. We've already seen Trump say that multiple times, that people in detention camps could be lent back to the farmers. But as of right now, it looks like there is going to be a shortage of all kinds of crops that are coming ripe over the next several weeks. It looks like there's going to be a shortage of what is available in the stores. There will be increased prices. Until we stop it, there will be increasing food shortages. Until we stop it, there will be increasing human rights violations. Until we stop it, there will be hundreds of billions of our tax dollars being used to inflict suffering, to fund the American Gestapo, not only terrorizing our country, but weakening our food supply and our entire nation.
Hey y'all, did I read that article about the dairy farmers? The ones that voted for Trump are speaking out. Because now they're sorry they voted for Trump. They didn't think it was going to affect them. They're all crying. Who's going to milk the cows? Who's going to milk your cows? And you put the level for Trump? Well, roll up your goddamn sleeves, bitch. Roll up your goddamn sleeves. Because it looks like y'all got to milk your own goddamn cows. See, it's funny how y'all talking about illegal immigrants. Y'all brought them over here. Y'all paid to bring them here. So they can do your work. So they can work on your farms. Y'all white folks paid to bring them here so they can work on your farms. And then you turned around and voted for Trump. Now you're sorry? Because you're looking around your farm and they're all gone? And you want people to feel sorry for you? We don't give a fuck. But you better hurry up and get up and roll up your goddamn sleeve and go milk your cows. One at a time, baby. Go milk them goddamn cows. Wake your family up. Get your fucking husbands up, your children up, get your relatives up. Have them come over there and help you milk your goddamn cows. Because your ass should have thought about it before you went into that booth, pulled that lever with your full chest, and voted for Trump. Now, get up, rise and shine, y'all. Go out there and milk your goddamn cows yourselves.
Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm B-Boy. Remember, if it was for the first time you're coming across my video, don't forget to like this video, subscribe and share. Okay guys, in today's clip is all about the white MAGA farmers, the white farmers. They have really came out in large number. They are really crying out for help that black farmers, they have refused their farm labor. They are now complaining that they thought that maybe a lot of black farmers could go and work in their farm, but now black farmers, they have come up with their own limit. They're saying that they don't want to do the labor or to go and pick crops in white farmers' farm because a lot of them, they are being educated. A lot of them, they have degree. They are saying that they won't do and go in work and work in white farmers farm, because these people are the one who did this, are the one who voted for this. Because if they voted for all deportation, what do they think? Because they voted for deportation of all illegal immigrants. They voted for deportation of all people who don't belong to the United States, and now they are really suffering, they're crying, they are going bankrupt because they don't have anyone to go and work in the farm. And they expected that if they voted for Trump will force black people to go and work in the farm. But now black farmers, they have refused. They are saying that this is not the work that they studied for, or not the work that can really favor them. Now we have all seen how a lot of workers, they are now scared to go and work in these white farmers farms because of a lot of ICE agents that are going and raiding these farms. And a lot of workers, they have come out and said that they can't work in this farm because they are afraid that they can be separated from their family, because we've all seen how ICE agents, they are really harassing people. They are going to target people everywhere where they see that there is all these illegal immigrants who don't have proper papers. And a lot of people, they are afraid to come out of their house. They are afraid to go and work in these farmers, forcing these farmers to really regret a lot going bankrupt, because foods are rotting in the farm. There's no anyone to pick the food stuff in the farm. There's no anyone to do any farm labor in their farms, and they're really going losses. They are really losing their farm. They will go bankrupt, and this will really affect the economy of the United States, because soon, if people don't speak, they will be lost in food. There will be high demand of food supply, because if there is no food supply in the country, it will lead to economy maybe slowing up. If people don't speak up, it will lead to lack of food in the country, because there's no anyone to harvest or pick this food in their farms. And this is the reason why white farmers, they are really crying out for help. And this is the one thing I can just tell them. This is the effect of maybe voting out of hatred and voting out of reason, because they thought if they vote for Trump, he will not favor black people, but they really just voted against their own interest, because he thought that Donald Trump will maybe make a lot of black people to suffer, and yet they're the one who was suffering. Black people, they have said that they are okay. They can't go and work in the farm. They have their own farms who can work in them. If it's all about work in the farms of United States, they should work in their own farm. Look at how Nebraska's farmers, they have really come out in large number complaining, crying out for help. There's no anyone to do any labor in their farms, and there is high cost of living currently in the country, whereby these people, they are really just crying out for help. They are really regretting why they voted for this man. They are really regretting why they voted for this orange man, and now they have started to feel the pain, because black people want them. There's a lot of people who really want them, because they really see and they really knew what will happen. But due to their hatred, due to their racism, they went for this, and now they are the one who are suffering. They are the one who are going bankrupt. They are the one who will make the economy of the United States to fall, because if a country doesn't have enough food flow, it will make a lot of people to suffer. It will make a lot of people maybe to country to get a lot of money so that they can get food outside, whereby they can control this by stopping all this deportation of all illegal immigrants, because there's no anyone to work in the farms. And black people, that really came out and said that they won't work in the white farms, because they have class, they have studied, they have their own degree, so they can't work in these white farmers, because these farmers really knew what they voted for. And if they could knew what they voted for, they could go the right way, or they could vote for the right person, because now everyone is suffering. They thought maybe if they vote out of racism or out of hatred, black people are the one who will suffer a lot. But right now, what's karma? Karma is real. Table, they've now turned. That all the people who are living in the United States, both of them are the one who are suffering. And one thing is that whenever you do a thing, maybe to make maybe one of your friend or one of your neighbor to suffer, it's just really turn back on you, because white farmers, they don't have any choice. other farmers that came out and sold that who gonna make their cows, because they really depended on black labor. They really depended on those people who were really working for them, and a lot of them, they were all illegal immigrants, and they voted for all, and they are the one who wanted out and voted for all deportation of all illegal immigrants in the country. So guys, we really hope things could be better. We really hope things could change. Let us hope, really hope one day America could be greater again, because this is the land that was known for more opportunity. This is the land that a lot of people really admire to visit. This is the land where a lot of people really knew it's a land of more opportunities, but right now a lot of people are really crying out for help. They're saying that United States dream is no more. So guys, if it was for the first time you're coming across my video, don't forget to like this video, subscribe and share. Thank you so much for your time. May God bless you whenever you are. One love.